It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Roosters Brewing Company, based up in, I'm going to say North Yorkshire. I'm gonna kind of every now and again, I mention a brewery and then I mention where they're from. Geography is not really my forte, but I'm going to say North Yorkshire. Might be the Pennines, might be that kind of region of the UK. But they're a brewery that's been on my radar for a long time. Roosters Brewing Company, I regard as one of those staple, solid, dependable, reliable. Don't mind taking a chance on one of their beers. If you go in a bottle shop, you might see a Roosters can for maybe £4 or £5 a can. Yeah, you know you don't mind spending that £5 on that can, because normally you get a good return from a Roosters Brewing Company beer. So I picked this up in ASDA, Roots Rock Reggae, Pineapple and Grapefruit IPA at 6.4% ABV. For me, it's kind of like a Levi Roots inspired beer. It could almost look like a jar of kind of reggae sauce, couldn't it? Which is great. I watched that pitch on Dragon's Den, and it was a fantastic pitch. Just went on with his guitar, strummed away, give everybody a bit of his hot sauce, and they flipping loved it. It was great. What a great pitch. One of the best pitches on Dragon's Den. One of the best pitches because it was just simple. It was a simple pitch. There was no like airs and graces. There was no big demonstrations. There was, here's my hot sauce, I'm going to play my guitar, you enjoy it. And I think Peter Jones invested everywhere then, wasn't it, for a few years. It's still out there, I would say, reggae sauce. We buy it as a family. We mix it up with, like, we make chicken wraps, like fajita style wraps, but instead of using Mexican fajita sauce, we'll put Levi Roots sauce into the chicken. We'll cook it into the chicken, and then it's beautiful. Glass. This is not a food review, by the way. This is a beer review. I'm just so we got a 2-finger white head. Good levels of carbonation. Carbonation rising up the glass. It looks really, really good. It's a amber, hazy amber coloured ale. There's some small carbonation. There's some large carbonation. There's a little bit of carbonation clinging to the glass here. Now that would normally suggest a dirty glass, but my glasses come straight out the dishwasher. They go straight in the cupboard, unless the glass didn't get cleaned properly, but I normally kind of pick them up and look at them. Might be a slightly dirty glass here. Let's get the aroma on the beer then. Cool, that is full on. And by the way, picked this up in ASDA, £3 a can. And they got a 4 for 3 deal, which we'll talk about in a moment, but I want to pick up on that aroma. It's like a sherbet lollipop type. Pineapple and grapefruit. Sherbety. It's lovely, really nice. Must be the heat. It's a hot day out there, and I'm normally very critical of this style of beer. I'm normally doing this. What's going on? Where's the hops? Why am I drinking ice cream concentrate? But it's just the aroma. I think the best thing to do here is to dive into the beer. It's not a canned conditioned beer. Let's get in. Cheers. Oh, I take it all back. I take everything I said back about the heat and trying to tolerate ice cream concentrate in my beer. Oh, that is one of the most hairspray, like when you were a youngster, you wanted to flick your hair up. The cheapest way to do it in the 1980s was to flick it up and spray some hairspray on the top and have a bit of a spiky thing going on. But every now and again you would spray hairspray in your mouth and you'd be left with this awful like this drying sensation from hairspray. And that's because hairspray is not meant to go in your mouth, because it's chemicals, isn't it? And I get the same sense with this beer. All of my senses are saying, "Whoa, what on earth is this? What have I just put in my mouth?" It's cloying, not cloying. For the person who says cloying is not a word. I think I got it. It's cloying, it's dry, it's like you've accidentally sprayed hairspray on your tongue. Oh, my goodness me, not a great beer this, not a great beer at all. Carbonation is kind of hissy and fizzy on the palate. It's just, it's like concentrated squash. It's like having a mouthful. It's like going to your cupboard and picking up some concentrated squash and drinking concentrated squash straight out of the bottle without adding any water. It really is full on and quite nasty, really. Quite kind of like, well, it's undrinkable. It's undrinkable. What a shame. What a shame. I went into this whole review talking about how reliable Roosters Brewing Company normally are. They've been brewing beer since 1993. Before I read the side of the can, there were beers there was a really good Roosters beer that was doing the rounds about 8 or 9 years ago, and it was one of those beers everybody wanted to try it. Everybody wanted to try this Roosters. It was like an IPA, but it was one of those beers, before Untapped even existed. It was one of them. If you were in the beer market, if you knew your beer, then it was the talk of the town. It'd be the talk of Twitter back in the day. Everybody would be talking about this beer on Twitter or Facebook. It was a very popular IPA. It's such a shame then, isn't it? Oh, I was going to talk about the 4 for 3 deal as well. It's such a shame then that Roosters have decided to go down the route of, like your Tiny Rebels, adding ice cream concentrates and just generally like unsatisfactory beer on the supermarket shelves. So the deal, it would be 4 for 3. So if you bought 3 cans of craft beer, you get the 4th free in ASDA. So instead of paying £3 a can, that will probably take it down to about, I don't know, what's my maths like, £2.30, something like that a can, £2.50. Brewed with the addition of fresh pineapple and grapefruit zest and juice. Roots Rock Reggae is an India Pale Ale that packs a fruity punch, using Admiral, Cascade, Summit and Nelson Sauvin hops to complement the tropical fruit flavours. Additions of Centennial and Nelson Sauvin during fermentation are made to enhance things further. I mean, it sounds like a dream, doesn't it? It sounds like a dream reading out that description on the back of the can. Centennial, Nelson Sauvin, Cascade. You're thinking to yourself, whoa, this should be really good. It's absolutely not. It's absolutely not. No, it's not for me. Not for me. 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.